When I first moved to New York, I learned about something called orgasmic meditation. And there was a place called One Taste where they had turn on events and other activities where it was about pushing the boundaries on what's socially acceptable, exploring turn on, and connecting with people in a way that you don't usually connect with them. This appealed to me because I am definitely the type of person who enjoys the not usual things. It is exciting for me to connect with people who are free to explore and have fun and just really don't mind letting loose. So I ended up going to some of their events, the more tame ones, I would say, and it was pretty fun. I like the hot seat and the idea of putting people in potentially uncomfortable situations, exploring what's good for them, how they want to unleash themselves, and what's kind of like what they don't usually share with people. So that tends to be my challenge in relationships, is that I love to go deep with people. I love to discover things and explore and have fun. And not everyone wants to go deep, which is acceptable, but I still love learning about people and where they're from and what brings them joy. I'm Latia, and I'm a relationship coach. And what brings me joy about relationships is how versatile they can be. There are people who can surprise you and delight you. There are people who can bring you such frustration and angst, and there's all of these emotions that are created within our relationships. And I guess that for me, books have been like the fundamental relationship in my life. If it weren't for books, I don't know who I would be as a person, how my creativity would have spurned, how I would have viewed the world and people in it. Because even though in books, like, they'll usually set up a character as what race, what hair color, all of these different things, at the end of the day, most times when you read a story, it's easy to see yourself in the characters, especially if it's well written or interesting. So a book I really enjoyed was actually 50 Shades of Grey. And I loved reading it because in the book, Anna was a character who was like kind of naive, kind of like, she was kind of a ditzy character, but she was also like very smart and intelligent, just not aware of the men who cared about her in her life. So these guys would like her and be attracted to her, and she would also have these challenges to deal with, and dealing with these relationships, confronting the men, and reconciling her feelings. What I loved about it was that there was a little sex goddess and there was the little critical woman. So her inner sex goddess would be doing backflips and having fun and just amazing. I'm like, yes, sex goddess, come through. And her inner critic was like a librarian, the horn-rimmed glasses, always looking like, no, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And I loved it because there are times where we're put into these situations and it might seem like it's an easy choice from the outside, where it's like, oh, of course you would go for the millionaire as the guy that you choose, and of course you would go for this kinky lifestyle, and like, why wouldn't you? You're gaining all of these benefits. And I haven't watched the movies just because it's like, you can't, there's no way that whatever actors they chose compared. One, the lady who plays Anna, I've seen her in movies. Like, for that role, I'm not sure I can see it. Like, she has like a quirky weirdness, but not in a way where I'm like, oh, I want you to win, but like in a way where it's just like, okay. She was in some movie where she was like falling in the dick sand of her ex, and he had a girl, and Rebel Wilson was in it, and it was just like, I kind of just want you to fall on your face, like lose, like, I don't know, she doesn't have like the energy of someone that I want to win. Like, there's nothing wrong with her, it's just like, as an actress, and it could have been the movie, I'm just not impressed. And whoever they picked for Christian Grey, it was just like, you're not going to compare to the fantasy that was created. There's like no way that there's going to be a person who really like embodies all that is Christian Grey. So I haven't really watched the movies. I think I tried to start watching the third one and it was just disappointing. Like, I don't even remember it. It was like so painful. And I barely watched any. It's like, that's a no. But when it comes to books and stories and like these worlds that are created, there's always this enchanting woman. There's all of these like wonderful feelings and things that are created. And what I really loved about the book 50 Shades of Grey was how conflicted she was. And like part of me feels like that's a weird part to love, because like definitely some of like the fantasies and the things that would come up were kind of cool, but like she was a real person. She was a woman who had thoughts and desires and was conflicted. It wasn't easy for her. And even just having her being a hardworking woman who would love to earn for herself and didn't want to take gifts and didn't want to be spoiled. It's not like she was like, yes, like shower me with love and affection, buy me things. She was like, no, I don't want this. You're not going to make me take it. And like when there were like things that would like come through and make us where it's like, okay, I'll take the gift. It was like, for me, like fun to read and made it more interesting, because if people are, I don't know, it's not that it's like when things come too easy, sometimes it's not that fun. So like if it would have been very easy for Christian Grey to seduce her, it probably wouldn't have been as fun for him. If it were easy for like any of these relationships to happen, it's like, I mean, it's cool, but like happily ever after stories aren't always the best ones or the most interesting. It's the ones where there's like a conflict, there's that tension that's created where it's like, oh, you are the son of my patient and I can't date you, but you're so hot and you want me and I want you too. Like that. It's like, it makes a good story and it makes life interesting. Now, would I want that level of danger and eroticism in my daily life? I mean, probably not to that level, but if you have like a little bit of spice, sometimes it's kind of fun. So it's like, one of the people that I spend time with was a police officer. And not that we've done anything around that, but it's just like to know, wow, like you have a past and you've done things and that's so cool. And he's a bodyguard and that's dope. And to know like if I wanted to, it's probably possible there's like opportunities in that, which I just have to ask about, which I haven't yet. We haven't hit a point where it's like, not necessary, but it's just like, why add on to the great fun that we're having now? It's going so wonderfully. I'm not pressed. It's good and delightful, but there's always just this fun that comes up when people can let loose and shed their skins and be their authentic selves. Because it's like, I feel like my biggest challenge with a lot of relationships is we come in with like, oh no, you're gonna see my best self. Like, let me get my makeup done and get cute and I'm gonna be like this. I have makeup on. I'm not wearing my glasses. My hair is fresh and fierce. And it's like, yes, every time you see me, I'm gonna look like I'm a model and you're gonna enjoy my presence and my company. Then after a while, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't care about makeup. Let me like take this off and show you my natural face. And people don't realize this, like, the natural face, the made up face, it's all part of one persona. But it's like, if I were using makeup to cover myself or pretend I was something I wasn't, then it's like, oh, you brought me this beautiful package and you're not that great. But I feel like what happens is sometimes our character and insides, it's like we just don't develop them as much as we develop our exterior. So it's easy to look beautiful and gorgeous, especially if you're a woman. It's like, duh, you're born gorgeous. Like, women are inherently beautiful. Men have their own brand of handsome, but like, it's not the same. There's just something about women where it's like, duh, like gorgeous, feminine, beautiful, curvy, delightful. Women have like an unfair advantage. It's just like, we just look good. We just look good. And not only do we look good, but it's like with just a little effort, like very little, just like psh, psh, boom, oh my gosh, you're drop dead gorgeous. It's not hard at all. So when it comes to dealing with relationships and putting our best foot forward, the only challenge comes in when we're not being our true selves, when we're not showing our awkward and our uncomfortable and just being real with the other person, because it's not a competition. And if we have to wear these masks and put on these fronts that people can accept us as we are, why would we want to have to pretend with someone that we're hoping to be intimate with? And I'm not saying to start off with like, let me tell you all of my faults and flaws, because like what you think of as a fault, someone might think is cute and adorable. And what you think of as your best trait, someone might get really upset with you, be like, oh, actually, I don't like that. That's not attractive. And it's like we don't know until we meet these people, where it's like, let's let them get to know us, and like, let's make it fun and take off the pressure. Because like, the more you can just be yourself with someone else and allow them into that sacred, vulnerable space, the more fun it is to connect. Because I'd rather have like no one like me, but I'm true to myself, so at least I'm great company, instead of having like a ton of people who like someone that I'm pretending to be, where it's like, now I feel lonely because it's like, I can't just be myself. I have to keep maintaining this image and coming up in this way, where it's like, you know, if I do something that's really authentic, it's like, now like, oh, what is that? Like, that's weird. And it's like, no, it's who I am. You just don't actually know me. But we live in a day and age where it's easy to be shallow, and it can be tough to get deep and like intimate and real or raw. It takes time to get comfortable with people, and I understand. It's just so much more fun whenever we can like I don't know, create and be imaginative and explore with one another, because like our time here is short and it passes so quickly, and it's just like, are we living the fullest, most beautiful, delicious life that we can, or are we cutting ourselves short and, you know, creating nothing? I don't know. I hope that you are living a luscious life. That is certainly what I'm about. I went out tonight with a friend and had a great time, and it was very interesting. Lady lineup for a comedy show in a nice location, and it's all about how can we have fun and be fully present and in our bodies and enjoying every moment, because we're meant to be fully alive and human and instinctual and primal. It's like we are thinking animals. Like, there is an animalistic side to all of us. And while it can be scary, I hope you have or find a partner who is worth unleashing your wild side with, connecting deeper than you thought possible, and just really enjoying this awesome life. If you're interested in creating that, hit me up and let's see what we can create. I definitely love helping, supporting people and unleashing their wildest dreams and doing what it takes to clear the space and get there. I love to listen, I love to amplify, and I just really want to see people living their most delicious lives. Settling sucks. I don't like that. And so if we can just take you into a place where you're truly satisfied and content, let me know, because I see the best for you. Because we're all divine beings and deserve to tap into that greatness and unleash it in the world. See you next time.